Hi there, my name is Sira and welcome to my channel. To share their experience, kind of trips. Maybe the first thing that we are thinking about when we choose the destination to go is when to go. So when to go to London? As far as I understand, there is not such a season that you can't go to London, but they're the ones that are either the weather is good or the prices are quite low. For example, I myself, I choose November. It was not high season there. Of course, there were a lot of tourists still, but it was not very crowded. The museums, all the attractions that I visited there, and the prices of hotels are not that expensive. So, and it was raining like 1 or 2 days, which is okay, I think, for London. But if you visit in summertime or late spring, as far as I understand, it's quite high season, and you may pay a lot of money for accommodation to stay in the central part of London. So you can choose any time, but I would recommend to choose a low season when you go to London. London is huge. Why I'm telling you this? Because in order to plan your program or itinerary properly, you need to consider that sometimes it will take you a lot of time to get from A to B, and sometimes, okay, minimum 20 minutes on the transport, consider this, but usually it's 30-45 minutes. So make sure you did your sightseeing. For example, if you have several museums, make sure they're in the same district. Do divide your visit in London into different parts and start to explore according to districts. It will save you a lot of money on transport, and of course the most valuable thing is the time. Now, how to get from the airport to the city center in London? First of all, London has 5 different airports. Make sure you check out which one your airplane is landing, and only after you try to figure out the way you're gonna get from the airport to the city center. There are different options. Of course, there is a tube. I was lucky. My hotel was right 5 minutes walk from the Piccadilly Circus line, and I could easily get to my hotel by tube. If yours is not, there are different options. Like, for example, there are bus companies. I will leave you here the names. The bus companies that are operating the buses from the airport to the city center. Another option is Uber. Uber is working perfectly in London, but it's still expensive. If you want to save money, try to skip Uber. I'm not telling about these black taxis, which are extremely expensive, and you don't need to use them if you're on budget. Money in London is British pound, but sometimes you may hear the locals calling it a quid. A quid is the same for pound, just it's a slang, the locals are using it, so don't get confused if somebody will call the pound quid. The smallest paper note in England is 5 British pound. The rest, the smaller than that, are coming with the coins, and make sure you're having enough coins on you, because you're gonna need those when you will need a toilet sometimes. So keep small coins on you when you're traveling in London. London is very credit card friendly. Almost everywhere you can pay with your credit cards. Most of the wireless ones are so popular there that you can use it every single step, so you don't need to carry a lot of cash on you. I think £50 is enough for the beginning. The rest you can already pay by by credit card. Next important thing, make sure you download the application of Citymapper. Why? Because I believe every single Londoner has this application on their phone, because with the help of Citymapper you can find out the best way to get to your destination. It gives you tons of options. Even if it's raining, it shows which way to get to your destination in order not to get wet. So this is a perfect application, and make sure you download it before you visit London. And also it tells how much you're gonna spend if you use this or that particular transportation in the city. The next important thing you may need to know is to get the Oyster card. You see, this is a card that you're gonna need when you will ride with tube, with buses, etc. This is the first thing I did when I get to Heathrow International. If I'm not mistaken, it was a £5. I purchased it £5 and it's refundable. You just can give it back and get your £5. I didn't do this because I think I'm gonna need it, and just a memory from London. And then after purchasing the card, you just need to recharge it. You recharge each time you feel it's empty, and in every station you have these machines that you're gonna need to charge the Oyster card. By the way, there is some amount of money, if I'm not mistaken, it's £7. If you exceed £7, your rest journey will be for free in the city. So this is very helpful, and this is gonna save you a lot of money, almost 50%. It's better than you buy ticket each time you're gonna use the tube or bus. In London, it's neither metro nor subway. You're gonna get used to other two words that they are using for it. It's either tube or underground, but mostly it's tube. Everybody there is using tube. Everybody. So it's tube. Next very important thing when you're traveling in London, when you're using a tube in London, is the following. Try to stand on the escalators. When you're scaling up, try to stand on the right, not on the left, because if you stand on the left, you may see passive-aggressive Londoners staring at you with a little bit angry, because the left side is for the people who are in a hurry and who are scaling up or running up, and you don't want to be on the way of those Londoners who are in a hurry. So make sure you're standing on the right. When we are traveling to this or that country, we are always thinking about the tipping as a tourist. In London, it's not must, but when they bring you your bill, you just make sure you check if the service is included or not. Usually it's 10 or 12.5% extra that will add to your bill. If not, if you can't find the service charge, or it's mentioned service charge 0, so you can leave something like 10% to make some people happy. In bars, in clubs, you don't need to tip people. It's okay just to pay the amount of your drink or your meal. That's okay. Tipping is not a very big deal in London. Make sure you bring travel adapter with you, because in London the plugs are not the ones like in Europe, and that we all are used to it if you're from European part, or you know what I mean. So make sure you have your travel adapter with you. There are a lot of that you can buy even online, that you can use in a lot of countries all over the world. And another important thing that I realized, you need to have extension cord, because in our hotel room, and I find in general in a lot of hotel rooms, there is not enough plugs to charge your stuff. If you have a laptop, computer, phones, you will need an extension cord. So make sure you got these two important things with you before you travel to London. So if you're in London and you want to know what's going on in the city for night outs, so make sure you subscribe for those pages that are going to help you. Visit London, by the way, Visit London, I have an application too on my phone when I was there. Visit London, Time Out London, and Secret London. I just have it there written. Traffic in London is left side, and if you're not used to it, make sure you're watching around while crossing the streets. That's why smart people put a sign on the ground which says look left, look right, just to make sure you are on the safe side while crossing the street. Just make sure I will add this to my how to save in London video, but I can't wait to say that in order to save a little bit of money in coffee shops, just make sure you bring your own coffee mug with you, and you will save a bit of money. That makes a lot of difference when you're a coffee addict or you're drinking several times a day. If you want a latte, americano, cappuccino, or whatever, you just bring your mug and you will get discount.